So I was sitting there when other speakers was talking, and I saw Nandini's presentation, and I said, "Shit, my slides are really bad. Her slides were really pretty." Then Anuj came and started talking about the start that you do for a presentation, and I said, "Shit, मेरा start तो बहुत ही boring है यार." And then finally we had Chaitanya coming, and I said, इसको तो मैं क्या बोलने वाला हूँ सब पहले से पता है यार. So what do I do? So all of that I'm going to say he knows. But thankfully at least Chaitanya has left and so has Anuj. So I am kind of safe hopefully. Hopefully you guys will get something out of it. Let's see. So what I'm going to talk about is based on my experience running companies with other co-founders. It's based on mentoring other startups and it is based on doing improv theater. So I'm going to put it all together but let me start with my first very boring kind of introduction, which was my first company. We started it around 2000. Many of you probably were just about born at that time, but I see some gray hair and you will remember that was the time that internet kind of came to India and so did financial services. DBS, I was very surprised to hear that they have 450 branches now. I think when they became our client, there were some 10 or 12 branches at that time. So we saw that financial services is growing, internet is growing, and we saw that most of the IT services companies don't know business. We put it all together. We came up with a financial services product in wealth management, which was a growing industry, in mutual funds, which was a growing industry. And if you are invested in mutual funds, the chances are your money went through our software because more than 50 to 60% of the money used to go through our software. If you had a wealth manager, HSBC, Standard Chartered, or DBS, the chances are that the money, the reports that you got were coming from our software. Very impressive, right? Yeah, that is the story we tell. So let's go deeper into the story. And this is all true. There is nothing, no fact incorrect statement here, but we will go deeper. But let's take a detour. How many people know what is improv theater? Has anyone seen this? Whose line is it anyway? More nods. Okay. Have people enjoyed it? Whoever has enjoyed it, raise the right hand or left hand. That's fine. Good. So a lot of people know. For the people who haven't, who may not know what is improv theater, what we do is two or more of us get on stage. We take a suggestion from the audience and on the basis create something. So it's unscripted theater. So for example, I might ask someone to give me a relationship between two people. So raise of hand, people who can give me a relationship between two people like brothers, husband, wife is a suggestion, and Namrata is an improviser herself. But but this could have come from any one of you. Right. So one of the people might become a husband and the person might become a wife, and someone might step into the stage and say, "Oof, it was a very tiring day." And the other person may say, "Don't worry, Rashmi, I have got hot tea for you." And the scene may go somewhere from wherever it goes. So it's really, really unscripted. So a lot of what you saw on Whose Line Is It Anyway is a 5-minute or a 3-minute script with rules. You may have rules like you can talk only in questions or you can talk in statements, but you have to go alphabetically. Like first maybe Anand, what you are doing A. Second might be bas yaar bore ho raha hu. Third maybe C. Come on, let's go out or something like that. Right? So these are rules, but we also do slightly longer form theater where we do a 1-hour play based on a theme. So we have done a startup-based improv scene where we just take a product idea and then do a 40-45 minute play on that. We do murder mysteries where we just take the location and a murder happens at that location. So clearly all of this has to be improvised because when we did it for the first time, we got suggestion as parliament. So clearly we couldn't have rehearsed lines about, not just lines, we cannot even have rehearsed who the characters are going to be. So this is what improv is about. Let's take an example. Let's say we got and this has happened. We asked for a location and someone said a park. One person got on stage and started just doing ha 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 ha, something that we have all seen, we relate to. So we knew that it was an old person. The other improviser came and started joining ha ha ha, and then two people were sitting on a bench, and one was, I guess, inspired by Amrish Puri throwing some pain, maybe in a bit of overacting, even started saying whatever. But so that's how a story may start. And then one of them died. Not really, but on stage, that person died. And then we went back to his school days. We found that that person's wife was liked by one of the other people. So there was a motive for murder, and this whole story came together somehow, right? So one of the best compliments we can get is this: was this scripted? So did you already know what you're going to do? It is also one of the worst compliments we can get, as if we are cheating, because then we only have to say, come for the next show. You will see that it'll be totally different. But this is one of the best compliments. Was it scripted? But in reality, when we are doing it, there is a lot of miscommunication. A lot of times we forget each other's name because names are created out of thin air. We negate what somebody else said. Like, this is one of the most common problems when we started. Like I said, I'm really tired. And someone might say, hello, why are you coming in my room? Who are you? It'll get a laugh, but you cannot do a 1 hour play if you are negating each other. A more subtle negation, we a lot of times negate ourselves, and I am guilty of doing it a lot of times. I may be, because this is an improvised thing, all our props are mimed, they are not real. So I may take a glass of water, sip, and then start talking about it, and my hand is moving like this, and the audience will be noticing that water must be spilling out of it. Or I may negate totally and suddenly drop the glass and move on, and the audience is looking, "Arey yaar, wahan pe glass gira hua tera." So all kind of negations happen all the time, right? We do best, and a lot of times we do come out with a great story. We do best when we resist the temptation to think, where are we going? Where is this story going? When we are really actually doing it moment to moment basis. So if one of us drops his glass, the other one actually notices and kind of sweeps it away to keep the reality intact. Why am I telling you all this about improv in a startup thing? And it's actually, the surprise is gone because Nandini already has talked a little bit about it. So when we see a well done improv story, we feel it is scripted. But the reality of living in it moment to moment is very, very different. You have no clue what is going on. You don't know where the story is going. You think you are messing up. You think your partners are messing up. You have all kinds of fears and anxieties coming up. My suggestion to you is, if a lot of you are running your startups and if you are going on the net and seeing other people's stories, you feel the same. Raise your hand if you do that. So let's go back to my startup story. Same beautiful, nice story. And now let's lift the hood and see what was happening inside. So first of all, it took a lot of time. We started actually in 2000 because it was a .com boom. We thought we will start with a .com. कुछ idea नहीं आया, और when we went with the idea to the VCs, they said, किस लिए पैसा चाहिए? ये नहीं, तुम्हारा idea जम नहीं रहा है. So finally we said, we two of us were already running a firm. They had a contract to do software. उससे कुछ पैसा आ रहा था. So we said, at least let's keep doing that. Okay. So no brilliant thought that, array, these two trends are coming together, etc., etc. Customers kept telling us what they wanted. We would not listen because we knew everything. We were from financial services industry. We knew what the customer wanted. हम तो finance के लोग थे. IIM अहमदाबाद भी था, Calcutta भी था, सब था. तो IIT सब था. तो we were telling the customers कि this is what you need to do. But customer was saying, नहीं, वो बड़ा अच्छा है जो आपने उसको आपके वहाँ पे दूसरे customer के वहाँ पे, नहीं वो ऐसा ही है. We kept telling them till finally the money started running out, and money kept running out very often. Salary देना था तो कर लेते हैं यार, वो कह रहा है तो. And then we found out that that was the real thing. The first installation of, oh my God, wealth management. I will not name the client, but it had 500 issues or more ka list. So they said they are bugs. We said no, they are issues because we will find the five bugs in them which they had misreported. And we said no, it was your misunderstanding. But they were really bad software bugs. मतलब उसमें कोई डाउट ही नहीं है कि इसमें bugs था, क्योंकि spelling mistakes थी. एक स्क्रीन पे बटन दबाओ, सबमिट चलता नहीं था. All of that would happen. Okay. So this is the lived reality. And those were the days 2000. They actually made us work in their data center for some reason. If there's a software professional, they would not even believe me here that that kind of thing would be happening. But you had to actually work in their data center for some 30-40 days at night, starting at 8 o'clock and till 6 o'clock. अभी बाद में बोलने में बड़ा अच्छा लगता है, but in the freezing cold, standing and working, it was a really bad experience. And why did it happen? Because none of us knew how to build software. We were all saying, "Arey, software people don't know business." That is true, but business people didn't know software, and it became very obvious. So, one of my biggest problems. If a guy, this was 2000 when the software industry, the turnover used to be really horrendous, and you got a guy who understands what he is doing, and he will come and say, "Sir, I want to talk to you." You know what he is going to talk about. And why would he say that? A lot of times he or she actually would, a lot of people were from Tamil Nadu, and they would say, "Sir, I want to talk to you." And they say, "We really enjoy the work we are doing with you, but I have to get a proposal, sir. Proposal is what? Like marriage, and your company is too small, sir. I can't work with you. I have to get TCS job for me to get married." Support calls. I had to handle 2 of my products. I used to hate my mobile so much, but I had to keep it on. And this is, it is funny saying it right now. The lived reality was not funny at all. I used to really love transatlantic flights. Ki ek baar you can shut the phone down for 9 hours. There is no chance that anyone will call you and say your product has stopped working. There is a bug in it. Okay. And this is not a joke. I still feel kind of it in my stomach if I think about it. Those are the dark days. Partners will help you whenever you're down, right? Yes, true. But there were times when we would not talk to each other for months and months because each one of us, 3 of us, were convinced that the other 2 were the idiots and we knew everything that we were doing. Okay. Raise your hand if that has happened to you with partners. We are all right. Our partners are not. And of course, when we were talking to each other, and it used to happen often that we talked to each other, we would sit with a glass of chai. Yaar, where is this going? Where is this going? Kuch hone wala hai ki nahi? Right. Simply put, when you are living in a story, you know idea which way it will go. You don't even know that there is a story. The story that will hear, that story that you heard from me, the story that you will tell others, and that is the right thing to do, are the highlights. And they are emergent stories. Actually, if you look at it, this is true for pretty much everything. If I start thinking, if I really dig deep into my vacations also, like मैं गोवा में बीच में बड़ा आराम से बियर पी रहा था, वाला part is nice, but the Goa airport is the reality. वहाँ पे I had to wait for 2-3 hours, like, you know, आपका expression सबको दिखाना चाहिए Goa airport का. I kind of totally agree. So there are a lot of, in the best of our vacations, there are a lot of points where we may, if we want to, can get really upset and really hassled about it. But those are the highlights. And the emergent story will, if we tell someone else, is going to be, wow, what a great time I had, and what a good person I am, and what a smart person I am, what a successful person. Sab kuch badhiya hai. So this is how we hear someone else's story. This is what they thought, and this is what they did. Very simple. This is the reality. This is what they thought they would do. This is where they started from. यहाँ पे किसी ने बोला, "सर, आई वांट टू टॉक टू यू." देन यहाँ पे बोला, "आपके 500 बग हैं." यहाँ पे क्लाइंट ने मेरे को बोला, एंड दिस इज अगेन अ फैक्ट, कि वी रैंक्ड ऑल आवर वेंडर्स, 5 ऑफ देम, एंड वी लाइक, हाँ बताओ बताओ सपोर्ट कैसा है हमारा. They said, "This guy was very good." Some XYZ, not us. Rest of you are all. So I came back and said, "Dekhe to see how many bugs. Why is he complaining? Why is he complaining? How many bugs?" We don't know. We didn't even have a list of the bugs at that time. So these are the lived realities, right? So you think you will do this, this is where you are going, finally stumbling, hearing customers with lots of good luck or something, you reach D. And then you draw another line between A and D and say, "This is my story." So guys, this is what you are seeing. A to B, सब किसी का story नहीं है. अब maybe हो सकता है किसी 1-2 लोगों का हो. All of us का story यही है. हाँ? मेरे को क्या पता, मेरे को नहीं मिला. मेरे को नहीं पता. I don't know who they are, कोई होगा, but most of us का story, life का story, startup का story, all of is this. So don't let anyone else's story scare you. Thank you very much.